I didn't notice until 14 seconds ago that I'm kind of stuffy and I'm not sick, but there's a thing going on. I don't think I had spoken yet today. Said hi to my kid who's home sick. We got one home sick. He came home sick yesterday. So it's the young Drew, the little guy. He made it to the nurse's office before throwing up at school yesterday. And the other two were talking about it. And Nate, the middle guy, said, I don't think I've ever thrown up at school. Just that there's like a statement he made. This is what it's like having three boys in your house. So I don't think I've ever thrown up at school. And then Zach goes, I threw up and I had a mask on at school. And honestly, in the moment, until just now as that came out of my mouth, I was picturing it must have been Halloween. I forgot that there were a couple of years there where we made our children wear masks to school all the time. And I'm sure that's what he meant, now that I think about it. He's not home because he didn't get sick today. But I'm pretty sure that's what he meant. It was like a COVID. It was the COVID era, that stupid COVID era that none of us are ever getting back. It changed society forever. God, that was horrible. We're still dealing with it. Still dealing with just the repercussions of. I don't want to get all like libertarian on you, and like we're still dealing with the repercussions of the freedoms that we gave up during that. But it's kind of that. It was a pretty crazy time. It messed us up. Remember when? Obviously, you have to have a kid of the exact right age, but remote learning for preschool. That was ineffective. That was no good. When we had a pre-kindergartner who had to sit in front of a laptop for 3 hours a day or whatever it was. That was bad. All of that was bad. And it's 2025 now, and it's in the past, but it's not totally in the past. Like I still go to the grocery store. You're still going to see somebody in a mask, which, okay. It used to be the only people I used to see in masks were Asians on flights. And I used to think that was weird of them, that they were so afraid of us. I then came to respect that they were just trying to protect us, I think. I think that's what it was. But it was even back when COVID was coming, because of like the trivia games I was writing and we were dealing with people overseas, there was a woman in Asia who's like, "Oh, it's coming. Do you want masks? I can get you masks." Like, stop it. No, I don't want masks. But yeah, we did that. And apparently Zach at some point got sick in a mask at school. Nate apparently has never been sick at school or never thrown up at school. And Drew, who all of this is attributable to migraine headaches. It's not a virus. It's what's the other one? It's viral or it's the other thing. What's the other thing? Doesn't matter. It's neither of those. It's everybody in this house, except for me, gets migraine headaches, and they'll just, because the barometer's moving, they suddenly don't feel well. And it's all of them, wife and 3 kids, all of them are affected by rapid changes in weather. If it's hot one day and cold the next, or vice versa. If it's windy, they just get these headaches, these crippling headaches. It turns out Drew was sick once at school. They throw you out for that. You throw up on the nurse's floor, you're out of there. You're getting picked up. So like right as the show was ending yesterday, I think I went upstairs and my wife wasn't here, or she walked in as I was, whatever, but she had gone to pick up the little guy because he was sick. And you throw up at the school. They don't let you come back the next day, even though he's totally fine. So he's just hanging out, probably playing video games or watching, I don't know, K-pop Demon Hunters or Ricky, Nikki, Dickie, and Dawn. whatever that thing is that he watches. Like, he's fine. Might even bring him on the show. I should bring him on the show today. He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything productive, I'll tell you that. But he's home. I don't remember why I started talking about that. Oh, because I said I feel a little sick. But I don't feel, I'm stuffy. Like, I can, hear that? It's like, I need like a humidifier. What is that, a humidifier? The one that, yeah. Like, I need something. Maybe a lozenge, a throat thing. Tea? Maybe I need tea. Maybe the first time I play a song, I'll go make tea. And then it'll clear everything out. I need some mentholatum. Let's go. I don't think we have that menthol tea, though. I like that stuff. I had tea a couple nights ago. Just for fun. I very, very rarely crave a hot beverage. I don't understand hot beverages. They don't make sense to me. Beverages are for quenching thirst. And something that's too hot to drink does not quench thirst in any way. So what are we doing? We're just messing around. That said, the other night, my wife's like, I'm going to have a hot beverage. Some kind of frappuccino or some, I don't know. I was like, all right, well, throw some water in there for me. I'm going to do some tea. I think today's another day to do tea because I don't feel 100%. I'm fine. I was fine when I wasn't talking. I was just sitting here reading things. When I was on the phone earlier, I was fine then too. I don't know. It was, within 5 minutes of when the show was about to start that I just suddenly not all there. I'm not feeling it. All right, today's one of those days where I've got 17 different things open on my computer screen, and we're just going to file through them. Also, I had a bunch of stuff written down to talk about yesterday that I never got to because it was, Bill's game, and then Scott was on. So I didn't get to any of the stuff from yesterday. And then I've got a few things written down for today, but I wrote on here previous sheet, which means look at the stuff you were going to do yesterday and do that today. And then all the stuff that's open on the computer. So no one main topic, no nothing. It's going to bounce around. It'll be a little bit of lunacy here. Did I talk about Green Day and the BPO? I don't even remember if I did that. I saw Green Day. It wasn't real Green Day. It was fake Green Day. Hoyle does this. Jeremy Hoyle, my good friend Jeremy Hoyle, and the Strictly Hip do a show. I don't know if we would call it annually at this point. We're probably up to, this will probably be like the fourth one, something like that, with the BPO. And that's coming up soon because I saw an advertisement for it while we were there. But there was a fake Green Day band. Green Day. I think I did talk about this. That's all right. It's all right. There was a Green Day band. We went and saw them Friday night with the BPO. And they were too loud. And the singer was like he was from a different band. I'm not going to go totally into this because I can't remember if I did this on the show. I've had this conversation 11 times in the last 4 days. But I can't remember if one of them was when I was just talking into the mic. So I'm not going to dwell on it. But I will say it was super cool when it was cool. And then there were other times where the 5 rock and roll people were really drowning out the classically trained musicians. And it didn't work. And the line I used in a text message, and perhaps on the show already, but I'm going to say it anyway, is like, if you know Green Day at all, Welcome to Paradise, one of their sort of signature anthem type of songs, does not require cellos at all. And they opened with that, and they just blew the orchestra away. You couldn't even hear the orchestra. But then there were the quieter songs where it fit, and other ones where it was like mid-tempo. Jesus of Suburbia is this, 14-minute thing. And, with multiple parts, kind of, it's got movement. It's like it seems orchestral, and it was. Like that kind of thing. That was awesome. That was really cool. I don't even like that song, and it's the most I've ever liked that song. The other time I liked it was when I saw Green Day live, and they performed it last year. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But, like, listening to it, just the album track, it's just too much. There's too much going on. I don't like it. But in person with an orchestra, that worked. And of course, like Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, that song, End of Seinfeld, that thing. That with an orchestra, great. Anything acoustic-y plus orchestra, great. Anything just blown away by electric guitars, not perfect. Anyway, I had that written down to talk about. I don't remember if I did or I didn't. So we did the quick version there. Here's the other takeaway from that show. Well, two things. One, it was, I'm gonna say, sparsely attended. It was not a great crowd. It was a quarter full, a third full at Kleinhand, something like that. And the singer early in the show, or maybe the other guy, the guitarist who also talked and seems to be, he's the band leader, said that it's like apparently there's another show going on down the street. And I turned to my wife. I was like, "What's going on down the street?" She goes, "Paul McCartney." I was like, "Oh yeah." All right, so we're in downtown Buffalo for a concert. It explained why the 33 sucked, trying to get from the thruway to downtown to get off at Goodell, the Oak Goodell split. And I couldn't believe how crowded the 33 was. It felt like, I was going to joke, it felt like we were going to a Bills game. But the Bills don't play downtown, so the joke would have been Sabres game. And then that would have been accurate because that's what people were doing. There was a sold-out arena that people were heading to. I thought, we're one of a couple hundred people trying to get downtown right now. No. It's 18,000 people trying to get downtown right now, and we're just a part of that. So that happened down the street, and it reminded me of the last event that I attended in the city, which is when I went to see Australian comedian James McCann at Helium, the comedy club. And it was right on the heels of Bills Chiefs. And McCann, the first thing he said when he came on stage was, "Well, I guess I'm going to talk to my manager about not booking shows in Buffalo during Bills games. This is stupid." So it was kind of that. The last two things I've attended, but that's on brand for me. I like the second best thing, usually. I don't gravitate toward the sold out concert. I want to go to the smaller one because I like that guy. I want to go to I want to go to the comedy show, not the Bills game. Bills game's on TV. So that was, it's pretty typical for me. All right. Should I go through the stuff I have open on the screen? Yeah, let's just do that. I got lucky on a couple of these things that I click. I fall for clickbaity things. Typically on a day like today, a show like today, where there's no here is our topic, or here is our guest. It's more guests. We don't really do today's topic because I don't take calls. So that would be dumb to just today is the day that we're talking about. I'm not going to do that. But on a day where I don't have a super specific plan, I don't have a bunch of very often I have a bunch of stuff that happens between shows. The show ends at noon, and then I've got 22 hours of life to live, and I write down all the things that happen to me or that I observe or that I think about, and I write them down, and then I just share them with you on the show. It's kind of the process. And then there are some days where I didn't do that. I was busy, but it wasn't I don't know, productive planning day for the show. But I knew I had everything left over from yesterday that I didn't get to. And then just go online, see what's going on today. And we'll just go through that. So what I do then is I'm going through all this stuff, and I don't even need to read articles. I don't want to read articles. I want to read them with you. I want to share them. We'll learn together. But it's a lot of right-click, open a new tab, as opposed to left-click, read something. I see a headline that I know is clickbaity. I know that's what the world is trying to do to me. But I'll just right-click them. And then now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 13 tabs open, none of which were open an hour ago. And none of which has been read by me. It's a lot of that sounds good enough, right-click. And I flashed through them a little bit because the clickbait stuff, this is how they get you. When they say iconic bands show canceled over singers' controversial comments, I'm going to click I want to know what they're calling iconic. Who's the singer? What did he say? What's the prop? Like, I want that. And very often it results in, like, the iconic band is not an iconic band at all. But I think this is the right phrase. Limp Bizkit, I would say iconic. Not good. Not anyone's favorite anything. I'm sure there's somebody. Somebody's favorite band is Limp Bizkit. Somebody that you know's favorite band is Limp Bizkit. Wrap your head around that. Do you like music? Yes, I love music. Who's your favorite band? Limp Bizkit. Never mind. Don't want to talk to you. That's crazy. That's crazy, but it's true. And I'm not just, I'm not just talking about Fred Durst's cousin. Or Wes, what's his name? Borland? His cousin. Is he dead? Didn't somebody die from Limp Bizkit? Maybe Wes. Really going to Google Limp Bizkit dead. Limp Bizkit. B-I-Z kit. Dead guy. Limp Bizkit dead guy. Sam Rivers. Okay. Bass player. Died in October. Okay, yeah, this just happened. They called him their brother in their heartbeat. And he died in October 1 month ago today. 1 month ago today. Let's check on that. Sam Rivers. Today we lost our brother, our bandmate, our heartbeat. The band wrote on Saturday. And this isn't going to work because it's Rolling Stone and I'm not paying you to subscribe to your magazine. Well, he's dead. That's not the point. The point is that when I click on iconic band, I want to see what, and this one delivered a little bit. Like, of course, they got a show canceled over what Fred Durst said. He's still out there being Durst. Their heyday was the 90s, had one of their shows canceled due to the lead singer's past statements. Metal Injection, the source of all things true, Metal Injection reports that Limp Bizkit was set to perform in Tallinn, which is the capital city of Estonia, in May of next year. That announcement was made like a week and a half ago. However, that show date is no more as of the publishing of this report. And then I'm not going to pay penlive.com for their services either. That's all they gave me in the article. He said something a while ago. Somebody noticed it now. Show is canceled. So if you had tickets to see Limp Bizkit in the capital of Estonia in May, you're going to want to try to get a refund on those. That show is not happening. All right, done with Limp Bizkit, closing that one. We're doing the thing where there's too many windows open and it goes very slowly. The other musical thing that I clicked on, headline again, it's like, yes, I want to see who you're talking about in case it's somebody that I like, and it was. It was beloved folk country artist performs beautiful rendition of iconic Rolling Stones song. I'm a sucker for iconic today, apparently. You put iconic in your headline, I'm right-clicking you and then reading you live on Riter Radio, episode 212. Coming at you on November 18th, 2025. This one's about Jason Isbell, which is cool. Like, I always want that to be the beloved. I'm like, all right, beloved, however you say the word. He beloved. I be loving him. He beloved. But it's Jason Isbell, and he did Wild Horses at the Country Music Hall of Fame, and people liked it. That's the whole story. I was just happy to see. Oh, we can hear it. Hold on. Is this going to work? How do I? There we go.
You decided to show me the same. No sweeping exhale or off stage line.
That was nice.
Could make me feel better. Treat you unkind. Wild horses couldn't drag me away.
All right, good enough. Yeah, that's cool. All right, good. I like that when it says iconic and Stones, and it's like, oh, it's the guy I love, and he's playing a song I know, which is cool. Is anyone else picturing the movie Fear? I'm in the house. Remember that? Fear? I'm going to find Fear. Fear movie. 1996 film. Reese Witherspoon. Marky Mark. Let me in the house. Right? That was in the trailer? All right, there's a trailer. We're doing it. Oh, hold on. Now we got to pause that. Got to make sure Isbell shuts up. Stop it. Close that. All right, Fear. Oh, I can put it on the screen. That's right. I've got that option. Go full screen there. Ha ha. I gotta get rid of this logo. Why is this so big? Hang on. I promise. This is all for you. I swear this is for you. It'll be good. It'll be great. But I'm resizing this before I put it on the screen. Because I want you to be able to see it. And I want you to appreciate. Let me in the house. Let me in the house is it's Give Me Back My Son before Give Me Back My Son. Remember that? Give me back my son. Let me in the house. Pretty sure we're gonna get that. This is 2 minutes and 5 seconds of trailer for the movie Fear from 1996. Things I remember about it include the song Wild Horses, Let Me in the House, and Marky Mark letting his fingers do the walking on a roller coaster. Let's see if that's in this trailer. Weird movie. Wild Horses.
Ooh la la. Stop being so obvious.
Alyssa Milano's
He
in
wants
this?
you bad.
You know, you're not at all like what I expect you to be the first time I saw you.
Oh, so?
You're just sweet.
He's not.
Dad, meet David McCall.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Same here, Dave. Nicole's curfew is 12 o'clock.
The late great J.T. Walsh.
Hello. Yeah. You remember that song and dance about David in some perfect little town back east?
Something like that.
Well, guess again. He's got no family, no address, no work
Is that Amy
record.
Madigan? Yeah, there we go.
The big deal,
Roller
Laura,
coaster.
is that the guy gives me the creeps, and the girl is my daughter.
This is all about David.
Something wrong with him.
But your problem with David, not
He's
mine.
not a good guy. Well, this is gonna stop.
Tell me you need me.
I need you, David.
Nicole!
Relax, Steve. We're friends and practically family.
The guy is a psychopath.
Yeah, something that everybody wants, but nobody has. That's why they're trying to keep us apart.
Disappear from my family's life. You got that?
Guess who? You should have allowed nature to take its course. In the end, it will anyway.
Mr. Walker, you okay? So let me know!
There it is.
Nicole, lock your door! The phone is dead.
Fear.
It's not. Okay, Amy Brenneman, not Madigan. And it's not J.T. Walsh. It's William Peterson. You get the point. And I'm going to have to cut that from the podcast thing because it's got official, like, licensed music in it. And I can't have that. So I screwed up. I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person for doing what I just did. All right, we got to switch this back. We're good. Okay. It's Riter Radio. It's episode 212. We're just going through the stuff that's open on the screen and getting on with their lives. I have to figure out what's happening above me. So we have hardwood floors throughout the house. which is, it's a nice selling point when you're buying it. Like, this is beautiful. Don't have to think about it. It's just they're everywhere. The whole house, other than bathrooms, and we have tile in the kitchen. But other than that, it's hardwood everywhere, which is awesome unless you're doing a show in your basement and your 9-year-old is home and not really sick. He's just home because he was sick yesterday. So he's doing something that's very loud on the wooden floors directly above my head. And I can't really check on it because I'm kind of tied to the microphone and the headphones and stuff. But something's happening. Possible cup stacking is my guess. Do you have children who competitively stack cups? It's weird, but it's true. It's a thing they do. Pretty sure that's what's going on. Hey, Drew, are you stacking cups? Yeah. All right. Thanks. You can do it. It's fine. I'm not mad. I was just trying to figure out what the sound was, but I figured it out. So now I feel smart. Yeah. Are you coming on the show today? Yeah. No, not right now because I'm not set up with the camera. But like in a little bit, I'll play a song and I'll get the camera set up and you can sit in the chair. We can talk about you being home sick even though you're not sick. All right. Thanks, Drew. Bye, buddy. Have fun stacking cups. All right. What else is here on the screen? James Franklin has a new job. Penn State coach who was fired with like a $49 million buyout. They've fixed that. And the buyout doesn't have to be that. I think they are going to pay him like $9 million. Yeah, there's a $9 million settlement from the Nittany Lions, but James Franklin is the new head football coach at Virginia Tech. And I don't know why I pictured this. I guess because we're so close to the end of football season. I pictured this as a thing where, like, next year, he's the coach. But probably have a game this weekend. Is he the coach now? They hired Virginia Tech hired James Franklin to be its next football coach. Announced on Monday. He'll be formally introduced at a news conference Wednesday morning. He says, I'm humbled and honored to join the Hokie family. My vision is simple, to restore unmatched excellence, to build something that lasts, and to serve this university, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and our amazing fan base with honor, integrity, and passion. I like James Franklin. I think he's cool. And I've told this story many times, but we were at Penn State. UB played at Penn State a couple times. But specifically, Scott Wilson was a sideline reporter at the time. He wasn't in the booth yet. And I remember him just walking on the field before the game. And the only two people on the field were Scott and James Franklin. And Scott had his mic on. And James Franklin was like, welcome to Penn State University. He was cool. He was just like really nice to my friend. So I like when people are nice to my friend. So that's all it takes. He's nice to my friend, and he looks like Danny, the lead singer from The Watchmen. And I love The Watchmen, who have also been nice to me. I've had great interactions with The Watchmen. I introduced them on stage for what was supposed to be their final show. It was not. It's been, 25 years, and they're still playing. But back then, it was the end of their career. It was like New Year's Eve 2003, maybe 2004, something like that. And they played at the Continental with Jeremy Hoyle Band opening. Same dudes from Strictly Hip, but when Jer was doing original stuff, it was awesome. And I'm sure that's how I got involved. And so I like them too. And then James Franklin just looks like Danny. Franklin was originally owed a $49 million buyout after being fired by Penn State October 12th. Part of his deal with the Hokies, sources confirmed, include a $9 million settlement from the Nittany Lions. He went 128-60 over 12 seasons at Penn State and 3 at Vanderbilt. Brings a resume that includes winning more than 68% of his games. That's always the goal. It's always the goal. If you can win more than 68% of the games. I'm just kidding. Who talks like that? Who talks in 68% in a paragraph? Come on, Pete. Pete Thamel. I like Pete Thamel. He's won over 68% of his games. An appearance in the 2024 college football playoff semifinals and a Big Ten championship in 2016. He replaces his former defensive coordinator, Brent Pry, who was fired in September after an 0-3 start and a 16-24 record with the Hokies through 4 seasons. His arrival in Blacksburg will give the Hokies their most accomplished coach since Frank Beamer, who retired in 2015 after 29 seasons at the school. Since then, Tech has endured the underwhelming tenures of Justin Fuente and Pry as the school struggled to assimilate to modern college football. Yeah, Pete Thamel's a good writer. After firing Pry, Tech's Board of Visitors passed a plan to add $229 million to the athletics budget over the next 4 years. Seems like a lot. The move was to help make Tech a more attractive job and attract a candidate who could revive the school's lagging football fortunes. The athletic director, Whit Babcock, W-H-I-T, Whit Babcock, said James Franklin embodies the spirit, vision, and relentless pursuit of excellence that will elevate Virginia Tech football back on the national stage where it belongs. As a landmark moment in our program, James is a dynamic leader, a relentless recruiter, and a coach who has proven he can build and sustain elite championship caliber programs. We're thrilled to welcome him and his family to Blacksburg and to entrust him with the future of Virginia Tech football. So what's the deal here? Where's their schedule? I have to look up their schedule. What's their situation? All right. Virginia Tech. I mean, it's November 18th. I guess they could be almost done. Virginia Tech football schedule. I mean, is he just on the sideline Saturday? They're at Miami. So, yeah, right? He's just there? How's that work? I'm not a football coach. And I think, like, for baseball or even basketball, which I do coach those, I think you could just step in and be the coach right away. How are you the football? It was announced Monday. I'm reading it Tuesday. He's being introduced Wednesday. They play Saturday. He's the coach? I don't understand how that works. I need a real football guy to explain that to me. I mean, they are 11th in the ACC right now, which is not ideal. And the 2 games I see remaining on their schedule are both against ranked teams. So, okay. How do you do that? Seems very complicated. I guess you just stand on the sidelines, you let your coordinators do their things. And you're there in face, and you get to show off that you'll be there next time, but good luck implementing a game plan when you're brand new to the program and you got a game on Saturday and you get introduced on Wednesday. They host Miami. I think I said that they're at Miami. They host Miami Saturday, and then next week they're at number 19, Virginia. Virginia's ranked. I don't know a single thing about the Virginia Cavaliers football program in 2025. Certainly did not think they were the 19th ranked team in the nation. No idea. Okay. All right, so James Franklin has landed on his feet and apparently will coach against Miami on Saturday, even though that seems crazy. Cowboys honor Marshawn Kneeland in dominant win over Raiders. Kneeland is the guy who shot himself on November 6th. Formerly Western Michigan athlete. So Mac guy, there was a brief police chase, and then he shot himself. Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer walked off the field at Allegiant Stadium Monday night to fans' cheers after a 33-16 win against the Raiders. He kept pointing to his T-shirt. He was wearing one of the shirts that memorialized Marshawn Kneeland, the Cowboys defensive end who died November 6th from what authorities said was a self-inflicted gunshot wound after a brief police chase. I slowed it down there so as not to say police again. I don't know what that was. Like a Rice Pilaf reference? I don't even know. He says, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have some tears when I first put this shirt on, as you can imagine. But more than anything, I know Marshawn was looking down on us, and we wanted to make him proud, and I think we did that. Coming off a bye week, the Cowboys spent the early part of last week meeting as a team, and then in smaller groups with grief counselors. They held a candlelight vigil for Kneeland on Tuesday. When they returned to practice for the first time Thursday, a few players said it felt good to be back on the field again. They wanted to honor Neyland by how they played. Dak Prescott, obviously, he says, quote, obviously, coming out there tonight and playing with the style that he played with, the intensity, the effort to finish. Super proud of the guys. This doesn't put a cap on it. We're going to continue to move forward, shining a light on Marshawn and carrying his legacy. And we need to play like this every week moving forward. He'll always be with us. You need to play the Raiders every week is what you need. That's very convenient that you get to go out there and you can credit the guy who killed himself after a police chase and talk about the light that he shines. But really, you played the Raiders in a night game, and they're no good. The Jets are benching Justin Fields for our good friend Tyrod Taylor, or Tyrod Taylor, as he prefers to be called, but we had it wrong the whole time he was here, so I'm just sticking with the incorrect pronunciation because it doesn't matter at all. He's going to start Sunday against the Ravens. He's 36. They drafted him in 2011, and he's still around. Aaron Glenn is the head coach. He informed the team of the quarterback change at the Jets Monday meeting when they reconvened after their mini-bye. Tight end Jeremy Ruckert played with Justin Fields at Ohio State. Said, it stinks to be a part of the demotion. I take it personal. All the hate, all the talking that goes toward him, I take it personal. I'm one of the guys that takes the field with him, and I wish we could have done a better job to help him out. But he's just a true professional. He's just not very good at quarterback. Make $20 million next year, including 10 guaranteed, and isn't good at it. Can you imagine that? Like, Shohei Ohtani can make $44 billion a year. I'll be like, yeah, well, that's because he's awesome. I get, like, big contracts, big player. Josh Allen can make whatever. It's fine. I don't compare. I don't compare regular people to Josh Allen. Josh Allen transformed our city, our community, our fan base, brought us back to life. Like that, infinite money to that guy. Fine. Infinite money and actress wife. Just, he can have those things. That's fine. It's Justin Fields having a 2-year, $40 million contract. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, how many regular salaries for people good at their jobs fit into a 2-year, $40 million contract? Not good at your job. $40 million. Crazy. So he'll sit and Tyrod Taylor will come in and he'll be fine. We know who he is and what he is, and it's good. Man charged with murder in Last Chance U coach John Beam's death. I need to see a picture of John Beam. Who's John Beam? I watched Last Chance U, I think every season of it. So I'm going to know this guy once I see his picture. A 27-year-old man was charged Monday with the murder in the death of John Beam, who died Friday after being shot in the head on the junior college campus in Oakland where he worked. Cedric Irving Jr. could face 50 years to life if convicted. He also faces enhancement charges alleging he personally fired a gun that caused great bodily injury and that the victim was particularly vulnerable, possibly due to age, according to the charging complaint. Beam was a giant in the local community, 66 years old, a father figure who forged deep relationships with his players while fielding a team that regularly competed for championships. The Netflix docuseries Last Chance U focused on Beam and the Laney Eagles in its 2020 season. He most recently had been serving as the school's athletic director after retiring from coaching last year. I need to see a picture. Oh, yeah, that guy. Oh, yeah, I remember this guy. He looks like Sam Elliott. Does that help? Bushy gray mustache. Got shot in the head? Irving, who is the accused, had no criminal record, is being held without bail. Scheduled to be arraigned Tuesday. Back-to-back shootings at two schools last week have roiled Oakland. Is that a word? Roiled? I don't know that word. Look it up. Bear with me. I don't know what Drew's doing up there now. What was that, Drew? What was that crash? Just moving a chair. Okay. Roiled. Make a liquid turbid or muddy by disturbing the sediment. Excuse me. That's one. And then two is make someone annoyed or irritated. All right. Real word. Moving on. They've irritated Oakland, a city of roughly 400,000 across the bay from San Francisco. On Wednesday, a student was shot at Oakland's Skyline High School. Student is in stable condition. 2 juveniles are in custody. The Skyline students were on a field trip at Laney College and had to suffer through 2 lockdowns in the same week. So it was time to bring accountability into the debate over gun violence because too many young people were being hurt by easy access to firearms. I just wanted to know who the guy was. All right, so yeah, I can put him on the screen. Maybe you'll recognize him too. There, switch that. That guy. Remember that guy? I don't think that was an especially interesting season of Last Chance U, but I definitely remember this dude. I don't remember like having a real affinity for him or the program, but Last Chance U is a great show focusing on junior colleges where you've got players who like were on scholarship elsewhere and then committed a crime or were academically awful or whatever. And then it's like, all right, come on out here. We're going to field a kick-ass football team. But if you mess up, it's over for you. That's the whole point of the Last Chance U thing. I didn't turn my light on today. Now you can see me better. Now you see me. Isn't that better? I think it's better. All right, so that guy's dead. That stinks. Alex Ovechkin passes Gordie Howe, with 442nd goal at Capitals Arena. Scored his 903rd career NHL goal when the Capitals beat the Kings 2-1. He also passed Gordie Howe for the most regular season goals scored at a single venue in NHL history. There's a stat nobody cares about. With his 442nd goal at Capital One Arena, which wasn't called that, hasn't been called that. Now it is. Matt Roy, or Wah, I don't know who it is, also scored for the Capitals, who ended a 2-game losing skid to gain some traction in the standings. Is he Matt Roy like Derek or Matt Wah like Patrick? Don't know. So, yeah, that much discussed record of most goals scored in one single NHL arena has been toppled. They said it would never happen. Just kidding. No one ever said that. We have too many stats. That's one of them. I mean, it's interesting if you're him. This guy looks like Patrick Waugh. He was born in Detroit. Bio. I'm looking this guy up. Then we're going to take a break and play a song, and then I've got 17 more things to get to. Matt Roy Wiki. So I know if he's a Roy or a Wah. Professional defenseman. I'm looking for like family. They usually put family on here. There's nothing. There's nothing on here. He's not Patrick Waugh's kid. He's not Derek Roy's kid. That'd be crazy. Could Derek Roy? How old is Derek Roy? Could Derek Roy have a kid playing in the NHL right now? Oh, he does look like Derek Roy. Ooh. All right. Does Derek Roy have a kid? Derek Roy. I didn't like Derek Roy very much as a player. There he is, though. He's born in 83, which makes him 42. Yeah, he could. He could have a kid. Personal life. It's Derek Roy. He's a native of Rockland, Ontario. He's bilingual. He used to sponsor the minor hockey team, Clarence Creek, the Clarence Casters. He would supply the players with sticks. Well, that's cool. And he's from Rockland, Ontario. That's what we know about him. So let's just move on from this Matt Roy, Derek Roy, Wah thing, whatever. Out on that. I'm going to take a break. I've got a bunch of stuff to still get to, but I just want to stop for a minute, play some music, drink some water, have some fun. All right, we're all having fun here. Maybe we'll bring Drew on, see what he's up to. Does that sound fun? That sounds fun to me. All right, stick around. It's episode 212. Yep, 212 of Riter Radio. All right, we got to... I'm going to move the mic a little there. Hi, Drew. We've got a sick kid, except he's fine, and he's here. And also, there's a story that I had open. One of the things I had open to talk about is Cloudflare down. I don't know what that means. Cloudflare outage takes down X and ChatGPT. A number of high-profile websites, including X and ChatGPT, went down for many on Tuesday due to problems affecting major internet infrastructure firm Cloudflare. And I thought, I don't know what Cloudflare is. Like, I've seen it before. The logo looks a little bit familiar, but I don't think that this has any impact on me. I felt nothing. And then I went to do the thing that the last time Drew was on. What is that face you're making, dude? You know you're on a camera? Mm-hmm. Okay. The last time Drew was on, I had him sitting off to the side of me, and then I used the phone as a second camera, and then it looks like he's in a different place, and it was perfect. He had a microphone, and I went to do the thing, and I had a Cloudflare failure notification. Like, it's working on this end, it's working on that, but it's not working with Cloudflare. And I don't know what Cloudflare is, but I know that it has made me change my plans on how to set this up. So now Drew's sitting on a stool in front of me, and we're both going to use one microphone. He's not going to be here for long, but we are checking in. How many necklaces you got today? Still 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's not neglect the microphone. Let's talk about why you're here. Why are you here right now?
Because I threw up yesterday at school.
Okay. But that was yesterday, and today is today, and you're fine. You came home and you were fine, right?
Well, not exactly. I came home because I was sick.
Yeah.
And I got better.
Right.
Because I slept for a little bit.
Right.
Whatever, but yeah.
But they won't let you back in the building because you vomited on their floor.
Yeah.
Is that right?
If you get like sick at school and you throw up at school, you don't go the next day.
Right. So it's probably like a 24-hour thing. So we probably could drop you off. So what time did you come home yesterday?
Like 11:30.
All right. So we could probably drop you off in like half an hour. You want to get ready?
No.
No. How you feeling?
Good.
All right. What are you up to? What are you doing? I heard you. Obviously, you're stacking cups right above my head while I was doing a show.
Mm-hmm.
What else are you up to today?
I was watching TV.
What are you watching?
Cup stacking videos.
You're watching cup stacking videos and then stacking cups?
Yeah.
Okay. How's that going? How's your training, your cup stacking training going?
Good.
Good. Are you good at it?
Yeah.
All right. You want to talk about your weekend, your visit to Orchard Park the other day?
Sure.
Tell the world, use the microphone and tell the world what you were up to in Orchard Park on Sunday.
I was selling beads for my travel baseball team to raise money for like tournaments.
How'd you do?
Good.
The messages that I received about, it was how many, 4 kids, something like that? 4 or 5 kids?
4 kids from the team and 2 siblings.
All right, 4 kids from the team and 2 siblings. But the text message said, Drew is obviously going to work in some sort of a sales position. What was your approach? What was your method by which you got like $1,000 out of people, which is what you did?
Like, what did I say?
Yeah, what did you do? What was your approach? Like, I'm pretend I'm a Bills fan. I'm hanging out in the parking lot. You come up to me. What do you say?
Do you want to buy beads to help support our travel team?
Okay, and then I go no.
And then we just move along.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Okay. And then we wait.
Hold on, I don't have any money. What do you say?
We have Venmo.
Apparently, from what I hear, the big move was people try to shoot you down because they don't have cash, and that's real. Like, people don't necessarily aren't walking around with cash like they used to. But once you said Venmo, people tended to laugh and then give you money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Anybody like negotiate, try to get a better price, try to get more beads for $5, or one thing for $2? Any of that stuff, or was it pretty straightforward?
Someone tried to get a deal, but we said no, and then we finally agreed to it. It was, $2 for one necklace, for one.
So you did.
Yeah, one. It was like It was definitely one person. I think it was that. I don't know for sure. I can't remember, but I think it was that.
All right. What else is there to know? All right, so you, in addition to being a baseball player, that turns you automatically into a little fundraiser. So you were selling beads at the Bills game.
Yeah.
Which was that was profitable. That was good for the team. But our big event, the massive event is coming up on Friday. Tell people what we're doing on Friday and what your role will be for that event.
We have a meat raffle with the travel team, and we're doing pretty much the same stuff, but without beads. We're just asking people if they want stuff and whatever.
What stuff?
Meat.
Meat, that's right. You're selling meat tickets.
Right.
You're selling raffle tickets for meat. You don't even have to ask them. This one's easy. This is just somebody else will announce what they're giving away or what they're about to spin the wheel for, and you just walk around and collect dollar bills from people and hand them tickets. So that you'll be fine. You'll be in good shape. All right. Anything else you'd like to add? What else is going on in your life? You feel fine?
Yeah.
If you had a game tonight, would you play?
Yeah.
You gonna go to trivia with us tonight? I think you are.
If I have to, sure.
Yeah, I think you have to. Are you healthy enough?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you'll be fine. All right, get out of here.
Okay.
Unless you got something else. You got something else to say, that's cool. But if you don't, you can just leave.
Oh, the game from Saturday.
The game Saturday. What game? Baseball.
Salem's, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, you want to talk about your game?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We're a 9U team, and we played a 10U team, and they walked in thinking that they were going to beat us, and then we destroyed them.
Yeah, I heard some things were said. What did you overhear?
I didn't hear anything. Coach Mike said that when he was walking in, the other coaches were walking in and said that they were playing a 9U team and that they were going to smoke us.
And did they?
No.
What was the score?
Either 15-1, 15-2, or 15-3.
I could probably find that in my phone, couldn't I?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
Good.
Do you have any details on that? This is what I mean by don't give me one-word answers. Like, how did you do? Tell me how you did.
I did
good. What did you do?
I had a cool play in the last inning where it was like a chopper up the middle that my pitcher missed, or that he deflected, that I got, and I made the play. At
short.
First. From short to first.
Yeah, that was good. All right, I'll find the score.
And I think I went...
Where's that? Game Changer? Game Changer will have the score. Let's see how you did.
Yeah,
Let's see if you're mentioned in the recap. They do like an AI... there's an article that comes out about every game. Let's see if we got anything about you. Because sometimes you wind up in like the headline of it, which is really cool. 15-3.
Yep.
Southline Shamrocks 9U roll past New York Stingers Black 10U. Do you get mentioned? Got on the board in the first. You're not mentioned. Oh, here you are. Shamrocks added to their early lead in the bottom of the third when Joey M. was struck by a pitch. He got hit in the head, driving in a run. Henry drew a walk, scoring 1 run. And Andrew R., singled, scoring 2 runs. So 2 RBI, single. No other mention of you in this article. Let's see how you did. Box score. You were the number 2 hitter. You went 2 for 2.
And a walk. Yeah, so...
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you went 1 for 1. 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, 3 walks. Is what it says here. But it's weird. I haven't asked you this. So this league, this indoor league,
Yeah.
you guys start with a 1-1 count, right?
Yeah.
Is that weird? Is it difficult to adjust to? The first game you struck out twice. You never strike out. So I attributed that to the fact that you started with a strike and you just weren't in, because you very often get your hit with 2 strikes on you. You'll like take a pitch, you'll swing and miss once, and then you'll crush one.
Yeah.
Is it messing with your rhythm and your timing and stuff?
I mean, not really, but it feels wrong. And it just feels like wrong and different.
Yeah. You gonna be all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Get out of here. Thanks, Drew.
Bye.
Say goodbye. Wave to the people.
Bye. I'm going to play Fortnite.
You're playing Fortnite?
Mom said I could.
Wow. Why? Because she's working and it makes you not annoy us?
That, and I asked her yesterday, and she said I could play yesterday, but then I didn't get to.
All right.
So I'm playing right now.
All right. Enjoy your Fortnite, Drew.
Bye.
Bye, buddy.
I'm going to try. try not to talk too loud.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I'll try.
All right. That's cool. All right, we can make the volume normal again. Sorry about that. Sorry about that intrusion. Cloudflare, man. Cloudflare is the reason that we couldn't put Drew in the other chair with the other camera because the internet part isn't working. Apparently, we're okay on YouTube. We're okay on the Mixler app. And eventually, we'll be okay on Spotify. I don't think yesterday's podcast ever went up. But I'll get to both of those today. Today's and yesterday's will both go up. The show, as always, is brought to you by Brian Janik and the Financial Guys. Thefinancialguys.com is the website. You can go find Brian. Brian is a 20-plus year insurance pro, and especially if you're approaching age 65. I don't know how many 64-year-old podcast listeners we have, but I'm sure there are some. Or live stream listener. If you're getting there, or you know somebody who's headed there, Medicare is calling, and Brian understands all of it. It's all new to you, and it's all old hat to him, and you don't have to pay him. So he just helps you navigate through that. He gets paid through the insurance companies, so it's not it's just no sweat for you. Just talk to Brian; he'll hook you up. Good dude. Saw him last night. Cloudflare. Thousands of users began reporting issues with the sites as well as other services to outage monitoring site Down Detector shortly after 11:30 GMT. I don't know what that is. I don't know what GMT is. I'll look that up, though, because I have a computer right in front of me. I know what roiled is now. GMT time. Where? With that. Greenwich Mean Time. So it's currently 4:16. And this started at 11. I don't know. I lost the thing already. 11:30 GMT. So like 5 hours ago this started. 6 a.m.-ish. And then when I went to use the camera that uses an online thing, it's like, no, sorry, Cloudflare can't do it. So that's what it's impacting. Cloudflare said in a statement it had seen a spike in unusual traffic to one of Cloudflare's services beginning at 11:20, which caused errors for traffic passing through its network. We do not yet know the cause of the spike. We're all hands on deck to make sure all traffic is served without errors, but I couldn't get the camera to work to bring Drew on. So something still isn't right. I think I'm going to play another song just because we did the quick Drew thing, and I would like to reset that and get the mic back to functioning correctly. And it looks like there's going to be a vote on releasing the Epstein files today. So the whole world might change dramatically between now and tomorrow's show. And if it does, I'm here for it. If it doesn't, we'll just, get ready for football this weekend or whatever. But this could be a real thing as soon as today, which is, I don't know if fun is the right word, but interesting. Very, very interesting. All of it could come down today, which is crazy. All right, it's Riter Radio. A couple songs. Be right back. There's some weird audio thing that just happened there. I don't know what it was. We good here? Seems like we're good here. It's Riter Radio. It's episode 212. It's a Tuesday, November 18th. I looked at this day in history, and not every day in history looks like a highlight reel. But, like, just scrolling through, I opened, it's history.com, this day in history, November 18th. When you get Jim Jones, mass suicide, Jonestown, 1978, Alan Shepard's birthday, Jackie Robinson, Abraham Lincoln, and Hitler are all mentioned on this day, and Sandy Koufax. Oh, and the bonfire that killed 12 at Texas A&M. That was this day in that's 26 years ago. Holy crap. 26 years ago. Bonfire at Texas A&M killed 12. Thousands of logs stacked 59 feet high for a massive pre-football game bonfire. It collapsed and killed 12, injured nearly 30. That happened on this day. But that's a pretty active day. If Sandy Koufax retired on this day in 1966, he was 30. We didn't get enough of Sandy Koufax. Hitler furious. Well, yeah. Furious. Right? Führer. Get it? Führer? All right. Hitler furious over Italy's debacle in Greece. So, yeah, let's put that in the news. It's 1940 and Hitler's mad about something. Railroads create the first time zones. At exactly noon on this day, American and Canadian railroads began using 4 continental time zones to end the confusion of dealing with thousands of local times. The bold move was emblematic of the power shared by the railroad companies. Would you have thought? I wouldn't have connected railroads and time zones to one story. This is interesting. This is why once in a while, you got to go to history.com. Learn what the hell's going on. What happened? How did we get here? What have I become? At exactly noon on this day, they started using 4 time zones. The need for continental time zones stemmed directly from the problems of moving passengers and freight over the thousands of miles of rail line that covered North America by the 1880s. Since human beings had first begun keeping track of time, they set their clocks to the local movement of the sun. Even as late as the 1880s, most towns in the U.S. had their own local time, generally based on high noon, or the time when the sun was at its highest point in the sky. As railroads began to shrink the travel time between cities from days or months to hours, however, these local times became a scheduling nightmare. I can see that. What is the point of time if we're not all using the same one? Yeah, that's rough. But I get it. What did I care what time people were doing things in California? What do I care now what time people are doing things in California? Honestly, we could have our own Buffalo time. I'd mostly be fine with it, but it would really screw up trips. That makes sense. So you learned something today. If you listen to episode 212 of Riter Radio, it's mostly just me rambling about dumb stuff, but also you learned that we have time zones because of railroads. Railroad timetables in major cities listed dozens of different arrival and departure times for the same train, each linked to a different local time zone. Who's in charge of this? I want a name. I want the guy who's like, you know what? From here to all the way over there, it's the same time. I know the sun's going to come up a little bit differently for New York compared to Columbus. But we're still gonna go there. We're gonna use the same numbers because it will make things work. Efficient rail transportation demanded a more uniform timekeeping system rather than turning to the federal government of the U.S. and Canada to create a North American system of time zones. The powerful railroad companies took it upon themselves to create a new time code system. The companies agreed to divide the continent into 4 time zones. The dividing lines adopted were very close to the ones we still use today. Most Americans and Canadians quickly embraced their new time zones since railroads were often their lifeblood and main link with the rest of the world. However, it was not until 1918 that Congress officially adopted the railroad time zones and put them under the supervision of the Interstate Commerce Commission. On this day in 1863, little president named Abraham Lincoln got on a train using the time zones, you'd think. Oh, wait. When did we say the time zones kicked in? Exactly noon on this day. In what year? It doesn't say what year. 1883. Okay, same year. Look at this. They fixed the time zones, and that same day, Lincoln got on a train using the new time zones, probably. It kicked in at noon, so if he left in the morning, it wouldn't be there yet. But he's probably on, Track Force 1 or whatever. What would you call the train? You put the president on a train, it's got to have a special name, right? Maybe they didn't back then. Anyway, he traveled to Gettysburg to deliver a short speech the following day at the dedication of a cemetery of soldiers killed during the battle there, July 1 to 3, 1863. The address Lincoln gave in Gettysburg became one of the most famous speeches in American history. You know what that was called? The Emancipation Proclamation. No, I'm just kidding. It was the Gettysburg Address is what it was. We went to Gettysburg, I don't know, it was last year or 2 years ago. We were in Gettysburg, and we were right there at the site, the cemetery that exists, and there are all these signs about being respectful and whatever. And then, like, I have a picture that I took somewhere of the sign that says to be respectful here, and then also drew the then, I don't know, probably 7-year-old doing the gritty, which is that stupid kid dance. Kids and Justin Jefferson. But he hit the gritty at the Gettysburg National Memorial, and it's ridiculous. But he marches to his own drummer, that child. Lincoln had given much thought to what he wanted to say at Gettysburg, but nearly missed his chance to say it. Shortly before the trip, his son Tad became ill with a fever. I've still never met a person named Tad, and I want to. They had already lost 2 sons to disease, prone to fits of hysteria. Mary Lincoln, nut job, panicked when her husband prepared to leave. That's what they do. That's what they do. They panic when you're leaving. However, Lincoln felt the opportunity to speak at Gettysburg and present his defense of the war was too important to miss, so he boarded the train and headed to Pennsylvania. Despite his son's illness, Lincoln was in good spirits during the journey. He didn't have Mary Todd hanging out with him. He was accompanied by an entourage that included Secretary of State William Seward, Postmaster General Montgomery Blair, PGMB, my man PGM. One of my favorite figures in history is PGMB, Postmaster General Montgomery Blair. Should read about him. He's great. He was truly one of our better postmasters. I just made that up. I don't know anything about this guy. I've never heard of him before now, but I think Montgomery Blair is a ridiculous name. Postmaster General is a ridiculous title, and when you combine them together into Postmaster General Montgomery Blair, and he's part of the traveling party on Track Force 1, the train bringing our man Abe Lincoln from D.C. to Gettysburg. It's funny to me. Also on the trip, Interior Secretary John Usher. Yeah. They probably didn't even know that song then. Lincoln's personal secretaries, John Hay and John Nicolay. The secretaries were dudes? That's weird. Several members of the diplomat corps, some foreign visitors, a Marine band, and a military escort. Just Abe Lincoln, Montgomery Blair, some other people, and a Marine band. And some foreign visitors, why not? When Lincoln arrived in Gettysburg, he was handed a telegram that lifted his spirits. Tad was feeling much better. Lincoln enjoyed an evening dinner and a serenade by the 5th New York Artillery Band before he retired to finalize his famous Gettysburg Address. Now, if I was not doing a show right now, I would click on this next link, how the Battle of Gettysburg turned the tide of the Civil War, and I would read that with great interest. I don't know that you tuned into the show today to learn about how Gettysburg turned the tide of the Civil War. I'm sure I learned it when I was a kid. I didn't care about it when I was a kid. Now I do. And I would like to read that, but I don't want to bore you with it because I don't expect most people to care about Gettysburg today. So time zones, Hitler, Sandy Koufax. Oh, Jackie Robinson. This is weird. Where's that one? Jackie Robinson. Where'd you go? Jackie Robinson. I can't find the story that I want to read. He. Where did you go, Jackie Robinson? He was named... Oh, it was just there. 3 years after breaking Major League Baseball's color barrier, Brooklyn Dodger Jackie Robinson becomes the league's first black MVP. I think it's pretty disrespectful to have that as an award. First of all, he's the one who breaks the color barrier. So now if we have the regular MVP and then the black MVP, he's going to win it every time because he's the only black guy. He's the first black. So it's dumb to have that award and then just, hold on, I'm being told it was not a separate award. He just is a black guy who won the MVP. He was not awarded the first ever black MVP award. I apologize. I was very confused by that. I misunderstood. Because that didn't make much sense. All right, who's the MVP? Okay. And then who's the black MVP? Jackie Robinson. How'd you pick him? Well, he's the only guy in the league that would fit the criteria. They didn't really do that. Sometimes that was all way funnier in my head than it came out. Terry Waite was released in 1991 after a 4-year kidnapping in Lebanon. I clicked on this because I remember his name, and there's a part of me that thinks there's a Buffalo connection to this guy. Shiite Muslim kidnappers in Lebanon free Anglican Church envoy Terry Waite after more than 4 years of captivity. Waite, looking thinner and his hair grayer, was freed along with the American educator Thomas Sutherland after intense negotiations by the United Nations. Is there a Buffalo connection to Terry Waite? I'm going to look this up. I may be confusing it with another story, another person who was captive somewhere. He's British, so that's probably not Buffalo. What am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of? Terry Waite. It was a big deal. We talked about him all the time. I remember this. He was always on the news. But looking at this, like, I'm not interested in him at all. None of this is relevant to my life. In 1980, he successfully negotiated the release of several hostages in Iran. In November 84, he negotiated with Muammar Gaddafi for the release of 4 remaining British hostages in the Libyan hostage situation. Who am I thinking of? There's a Buffalo. Oh. Terry Anderson. Terry Anderson, American journalist and combat veteran, was taken by Shia Hezbollah militants of the Islamic Jihad organization in Lebanon and held until 91. 2004, he ran unsuccessfully for Ohio something. Is there a Buffalo connection there? Greenwood Lake, New York. Died in 2024. Where's Greenwood Lake, New York? Orange County, not Buffalo. There's some Buffalo connection here. I'm going to just look for the word Buffalo on this page. Bust of Anderson finds new home at Batavia High. A bust of former hostage Terry Anderson consigned to a cluttered storeroom a few months ago after standing in the Genesee Country Mall during much of his captivity is headed for a place of honor in Batavia High School. So there's something here. There's some Buffalo something. This guy, Terry Anderson, not Terry Waite. Same era, same situation. Both hostages, both named Terry. I don't know any Terrys. I know one Terry. I think I know one dude named Terry. My whole life, I've known one dude named Terry. We had 2 Terrys. They were both hostages at the same time. Weird. All right, done with that. Close that. I keep clicking on links about Stefon Diggs and his baby with Cardi B, but then I start feeling just old and out of touch when I read it because there are just all these mentions of like rappers I've never heard of. Like she had 3 kids with a rapper that I don't know. And then like Diggs, he can still play. Like we're seeing that, but Man, I didn't need this around the Bills. Stefan already has a daughter, Nova, from a previous relationship, and he's contesting whether he fathered a child with model Aileen Lopera, a.k.a. Lord Giselle. What are we talking about? As we first told you, this is TMZ. They're always right. We obtained video of Stefan leaving a hospital with a car seat in his hands back in May, exactly one day before he hard launched his relationship with Cardi B. I don't know what that means. The cheerleader looked surprised. Oh, wait, this is a totally different thing. He threw a football to a cheerleader. I don't want to read this. We don't need this. We don't need this drama. We need Gabe Davis. We got Gabe Davis back. I'm thrilled about Gabe Davis being back. He doesn't father children with rappers ever. Maybe he did or will. I don't know. But he's not that kind of guy. That's not the kind of thing I expect out of Gabe. Diggs, yeah. Seth Meyers responds to Trump's calls to fire him. I finally have something in common with Marjorie Taylor Greene. He delivered a signature wry response to the president's over-the-weekend public lashing, describing Trump's public call for the late-night host to be fired, quote, a thoughtful piece of fan mail. Opening his A Closer Look segment on Late Night with Seth Meyers, the comedian joked about the novelty of getting a shout-out on the news as a result. You guys, they said my name on TV. It's not often you hear the name Seth Meyers on TV before midnight. Now, as I said before, I prefer to handle these situations the way you handle an angry driver who honks and flips you off on the highway. You just ignore them. Unless you're in New Jersey, then technically that's a marriage proposal. Myers added he wasn't bothered by the attack, which is the latest in a line of Truth Social posts. That's a real thing, huh? Truth Social and Blue Sky are real. People go to those. Somebody showed me something once on Blue Sky, and I didn't like it. I was like, here, look at this. But I've never, considered going there on purpose. And Truth Social, that Twitter's fine. It's annoying. But I still, I feel like everybody should be talking in the same place. Isn't that the point? Instead of having your own little club? Oh. He said he wasn't bothered. Myers maintained he has plenty in common with other public figures on Trump's bad side, most of whom are embroiled in the ongoing feud concerning the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. So I'm also aware that being attacked by the president this weekend doesn't make me special in any way, shape, or form. I was simply on the same list as Christopher Wray, James Comey, Indiana Republicans, Thomas Massie, Rand Paul, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and former President Joe Biden. In fact, the only person who Trump didn't seem to be mad at was Sean Connery, as he posted a 2008 article about Connery praising Trump's golf course with the words blast from the past. And I think it's a bad sign when the most positive thing someone said about you this weekend was from an article 17 years old by a man who died 5 years ago. That's kind of funny. The host continuing, the host said he wanted to, quote, clarify that I take no issue with the president voicing his displeasure with my show. That is his right. And on a lot of nights, he's got a point. Specifically, Myers wanted to give some grammar advice, singling out Trump's dangling modifier. He was viewed last night in an uncontrollable rage. What's with the passive voice, my man? I was viewed by who? Was it you who viewed me? And did you view me exhibiting an uncontrollable rage? Or did viewing me send you into an uncontrollable rage? Sounds like something a dowager countess says in a Victorian murder mystery while she's staring out the drawing room windows. That's why I don't watch this show. That's how he talks on the show. I'm not going to watch that show. If you have YouTube TV, we spent a couple weekends without football, but we're back. And I think this is a public service that I will issue because I got lucky in seeing this article. How to redeem a $20 credit. They're giving you, if you're a YouTube TV subscriber, as I am, there's a $20 credit, and here's how you get it. And I think this is kind of a joke. Of course I want the $20. Give it to me. Or take it off my bill or whatever. You're doing this, just do it. I shouldn't have to opt in for the $20. But I did because I saw this article. So anybody else who has YouTube TV, to redeem your credit, go to the Updates tab in membership settings using your web browser and follow the prompts. Once complete, this discount will be applied to your next bill for YouTube TV. And it was one click, but you had to find it. You have to click on your little icon that's, your face or whatever. Mine's my Riter Radio logo. But you click on that, and then it opens up. You open up settings, and then at the very bottom is updates. And then if you go on updates, it says click here to redeem your thing. And I did it, and it immediately worked. There wasn't like a whole bunch of stuff to click. Just one thing. It's like, all right, gotcha. $20 coming your way. So if you got YouTube TV, updates in membership settings, go to settings, then updates, and then just click yes or whatever. Claim refund or claim credit or whatever it is. I clicked that and it said it's coming. So thanks. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for hooking me up. I honestly, there was one of the 4 big football days where things were missing, which would have been Saturday and Monday. There was only one game I was trying to watch and couldn't watch. I missed a Monday Night Football game, but I got on with my life just fine because it was on ESPN. Anything on ABC we were able to get with the antenna, so that was fine. We didn't miss any Grey's Anatomy, which is very important in my house. I don't watch it, but somebody does. Every episode, all the time. So we got that, and now we're back, and now I just got $20. So, hey, what a day this is turning out to be, huh? What's today? Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I need a guest. I should have a guest tomorrow. Is it Bob? No, Bob's Thursday. I think Bob's Thursday this week. Yeah, I'll get somebody. We'll get somebody on the show. It won't just be me rambling for 2 straight hours. We had a guest today. His name was Drew because he's homesick from school, even though he's fine. But they've got this rule where if you throw up on their floor, they don't let you come back the next day. Fair enough. He's 24 hours removed. He could go now. We could take him now. I could shut off the show and just drive him to school and drop him off. I'm not going to do that to him. I'll let him keep watching cup stacking videos and stack cups because that's what he's doing with his time off. Very productive. All right, we're done. Thanks for listening.